Hi, this is Pat Grady of Embellishing Bliss, and welcome to week 2 of Navigate the Journey. I hope this past week you were able to spend some time really thinking about what your intention is for this course. What is it that you hope to gain in the next 5 weeks that we have together? And besides your intention, did you find a place that you're going to feel comfortable spending every day in your journal? And a time that really fits into your schedule by pairing it with something that you already do on a daily basis. I have decided that I am actually going to be taking this course with you. And I know that might sound a little bit funny, but what I mean by that is I went to Michael's this last week and I got my own very new journal. I'm excited. It's brand new. It's blank pages. And I am going to take this course just like as if it were the very first time that I ever did it. I want to feel exactly what you're feeling. Opening up a blank page and being a little overwhelmed by the fact that it's a brand new journal and I don't even know if I want to make the first mark in it. So I'm going to be going through this journey with you. And so with your intention, I hope that you've thought about it and that it's not too big of an intention. It needs to be somewhat focused so that you can attain it, that you can actually accomplish it. So this next week, we are going to spend some time on release. Release is the topic for the week. And I want to share with you the definition. I really think that this is a good way to start each week so that you have an idea of what it is we're going to dig a little bit deeper into. So the first definition I found was to set free from confinement, restraint, or bondage. And when I first read that, it kind of almost sounds like you're being released from prison. But honestly, sometimes we put ourselves in our own prison where we put so many constraints on ourselves of things that we can do or can't do that we don't have a lot of chance for movement or doing the things we really love to do. One of the ways that I really felt that I was being confined was my studio. 2 weeks ago, my studio was such a mess that I didn't want to start any new projects. So if the space that you're planning to use for your visual journal, is something that you're going to have to clean off every day, you might want to try to find a different space. You need to make this easy for yourself or you're really not going to do it. The next definition is to free from something that binds, fastens, or holds back. So what is it that's holding you back? I know when I taught this course in January, one of the things I realized is every morning when I went to open up my email, I had subscribed to so many things. I might have had 40 emails every morning, and honestly, probably only maybe a fourth of them or an eighth of them were ones that really meant anything to me, that I really wanted to take a look at. So I spent some time and I went through and I unsubscribed to a lot of different things. That was a way of me releasing all of those things that I really didn't care about anyway. So if that's something that happens to you, that might be something that you want to release. The next definition is to relieve of debt or obligation. Sometimes we do things because we feel that we have to, not because we want to. So look at those and determine what really is necessary. What do I have to do today? What can I put off tomorrow? Or what can I just move on to somebody else's to-do list instead of my own? So why release for the second week? Number one, if we don't get rid of some things, we can't take on new things. So by releasing things that don't have as much meaning to us, we can take on those things like writing in our journal that are really important to us. So that's one of the main reasons for release. And like I said, it's going to open up room for new things and new opportunities. And so are you ready to begin your visual journal? We're actually going to get to write in it this week. So when you look at it and you open it up, I might recommend that this very first inside cover in this first page, most of the time I actually flip past that page. I don't even write in it. I go to the next page because I like to use that first page on the inside to really put, maybe if you want to, you can write your name in there and that sort of thing. But for what we're starting with the visual journal, go to the next blank spread. And a lot of times you can work on one page at a time. I tend to do a whole spread. I write really big. I like to have some space and some room to do things. So what I want you to write is your intention. You might want to put the date. The date is something that I recommend that you put on every page whenever you're writing in it. Right now you might say, oh, I won't forget, that was the first date. But you won't. After a year or so, you won't remember what it is. So I highly recommend not only writing the day, the date, and the year, so that you have that for whenever you would go back to your journal. And then I want you to write, my intention is ... and then write what your intention is. If you want to use markers, you can do that, or your favorite pen, however you want to do it. My intention is, and then write what you've come up with. And remember, judgment is not allowed. I mean, if when you're writing it with markers and it doesn't look exactly like you want to, it's okay. It's your safe space. It's your chance to do whatever you want to do. And remember that judgment is not allowed. The idea is that you're going to write whatever you write, and no one else ever needs to look at it. If you want to share it, you can, but you don't have to. And that this is not about art. This is a journey, an inner journey that we're going to take. So when you're doing this, you might not have a lot to fill up the whole space. You might only have a little bit here. Go ahead and just leave this page blank, because as you're going on, you might want to come back and say, you know what, I've kind of tweaked my intention. I've changed it a little bit. And that's okay. So once you have your intention down, I want you to write one other thing on here. And I want you to write these words. The act of doing something new makes me vulnerable. And so that is in your home play. You don't have to write it down right now. You'll see that. But I think just really think about that. Every time we do something new, it makes us vulnerable. It makes us sometimes afraid, sometimes a little nervous. So just remember that that's part of it, and it's okay. Now the next piece is the prompt. So this week and every week from now on, I am going to give you a prompt. And this week's prompt is, today I am willing to release ... And so with that, you're going to write the prompt down, and then you're going to use your watch or a timer or something like that, and you are going to set it for 2 minutes. And during that 2 minutes, one of the guidelines is to keep your pen moving. So first you're going to write the prompt, and then you're going to write, I am willing to release. And so for example, if you used what I did, I am willing to release all the junk that's in my studio so that I can find a place to work. I'm willing to release old email subscriptions that I don't care about. And whether it's a laundry list or if it is written out, it doesn't have to be in perfect sentence structure. Just whatever comes out of your pen. So it's kind of like out of your head, down your arm, out your pen, and just continue to write. If within that 2 minutes you think you've written everything you can write, then just rewrite the prompt. Just keep it going. So that's really the key to all of this, is to just go ahead and keep it moving. So, and at the end of this week, so you will do that every day and spend just that 2 or 3 minutes in your journal, and so that you can date it. And whether you take a whole spread or you just do it on one page, whatever works for you. So the next day you're going to use the same prompt and you're going to write the same thing. Now, if it's anything like for you, like it was for me the very first time that I did this, the first day it was really sort of a laundry list of things, but by the second day I kind of dug a little bit deeper, and I think you're going to find that there's a lot of stuff in there that you need to get rid of. And so by releasing it or letting it go, you can move on and go higher. One thing I like to think about with release is think about, a helium balloon. And helium balloons go up. The helium makes them go high in the air. And typically we have a string or something on them to hold them down. And so the string sort of tethers it. And we think that the balloon is as high as it can go. And it is as high as it can go on a string. But if we let go of that string, it goes even higher. So that if we release some things, we can move on. We can move higher than what we normally thought we could. So then at the end of the week, I want you to do what I call the reclamation or the harvesting. I want you to go back through, and maybe Sunday is a good time to do it if you're starting your journal on a Monday. On Sunday, during your regular time or at night, I want you to go through, and I've got this all in the home play for you, but say my creative practice experience this week was, and how did it make me feel? What did I learn? What do I want to learn next week? I have all of these different things in here, but it's a way for you to go back through the journal and really figure out what did I learn this week and how am I going to move forward for next week. So that's really the whole thing. That's all we're going to take a look at this week. But I do want you, because next week we actually get to put paint on the page, which I'm very excited about, and I will be doing a demo to show you how to do that. So this week I want, if you haven't already done it, to get some paints. Find an old gift card or credit card and start looking through some magazines to pull out some things that are of interest to you. Maybe you love to cook and it's recipes, or there's a certain color in a magazine that you love that picture, or words that really hit you. Those are the things I want you to start pulling out, because we are going to start using those next week. So I hope that you have a great week. This coming week, we are going to have our conference call on Friday like usual, but we were actually going to have it earlier. It will start at 8 o'clock Central Time and go to 9 o'clock Central Time, because I'm actually going camping and canoeing with my Girl Scouts. And so we're going to be leaving on Friday, and so I need to have this a little bit earlier in the day. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll talk to you on the conference call. Bye now.